Hi, and welcome to Learn with Sawgrass, the Tuesday edition. I'm Rhonda, the Education Manager here at Sawgrass, and your host. Every week we will be walking through what I think are the essential things about Sawgrass. So we're going to be talking about the printers, we're going to be talking about the inks, and then we're going to offer you some inspiration. We're going to talk about our software, and then we'll also throw in some business tips on days like today. So we're with you every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern live on YouTube, and every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern live on YouTube as well. If you have Rhodes behind the scenes, he is in the chat. So if you do have any questions, if you do have anything that you want to throw in, please make sure and put that in the chat, and he'll be glad to either answer you or bring it up to me, because I'm going to pester him throughout to see if we have anything to discuss. So with that, thank you for joining us, whether it's live or whether you're watching the recording later. These are always in our Learn with Sawgrass playlist, so please go back and watch those that interest you. And we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So I know it's a little late. I realized about a week ago that I should have done this a few weeks ago to give you more time to use the tips. But this is all about Small Business Saturday and leveraging it. Now, I know a lot of you already sell to some degree, and so I tried to use points that I thought even at this late of a date, you can still use. There are a few to start thinking about a little bit earlier next year, and I'll mention those as we go. But a lot of this, even if you haven't done anything and you just usually sell, you can still get some good stuff to use for this Saturday. So let's dive right in. All right, so first of all, let's define Small Business Saturday. So it is the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend here in the U.S. There's really three. So there's Black Friday, which is typically selling more at the big box, the large box stores. It's generally more about physically going out and going to those large stores and purchasing. So a lot of times these are your bigger ticket items and you're trying to get them at a good sale. On the Monday after Thanksgiving, that's what we call Cyber Monday. So that is all about purchasing online. So these usually to me are the filler gifts. So this is the other things that you may not have been able to pick up and purchase in person, probably not as big a ticket item. Those other filler gifts that you need to get typically is what I think of for Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday and Black Friday are also sometimes gifting to yourself, getting those things that you need while they are on deep discount. Saturday is special, and that is Small Business Saturday, and that's really a push to buy local, to buy from those smaller businesses that are probably local to you. You can do it online as well, but it's focused on small business, and this really works great for us as Sawgrass users, because whether you're selling sublimation, whether you're selling stuff that you've made with the VersaFlex design system, or whether you're kind of doing a combo of both, all of these items are exactly what people are looking for, because when they are shopping local, when they are shopping for small businesses, they're really looking for things that are unique, high quality, and meaningful. And so that is really that niche that we fit so well because of the personalization and customization that is really our bread and butter. Because you can do those smaller runs, you can do those personalized products. This is not what everyone's picking up on Friday at the big box stores. This is really that unique, special, and often that thing that's really going to kind of stand out not necessarily because of the price, but because of the uniqueness and because it is so geared to the recipient. So that's why I think Small Business Saturday is so huge for people who work with VersaFlex, who work with sublimation, who own these Sawgrass printers, because you can do so much here. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the ways you can prepare and make the most of Small Business Saturday. So the first is the pre-event preparation. So I think Rhodes just realized I used his photo. But really look at making sure that whether you're selling online, whether you're selling at events, or whether you're selling in a store setting, that you really are spotlighting what we call the top sellers. So making sure that people can see the mugs, they can see the tumblers, they can see the ornaments. Rhodes and I were just kind of saying that we think the solid base that you have to build everything on when you're selling is you have to sell some kind of drinkware, whether that's a tumbler, whether that's a water bottle, whether that's a mug. You have to sell some kind of apparel, whether that's pet themed, whether that is a t-shirt, whether that is bandanas, whatever it may be. You have to have something in the apparel realm, and then you have to have something that we refer to as home decor. Typically, I'm going to say some kind of coaster. There's so much variety out there, but I would say you should be selling some drinkware, you should be selling some home decor items, and you should be selling some apparel to really get across. And whatever the theme is in your store, whatever the theme is to what you're doing, but kind of hitting those three big areas. The next thing you want to do is you want what you offer on Small Business Saturday to be different than what you offer the rest of the year. So just like I said, people line up for those Black Friday deals. You want to have things that are unique to that day. And a good way to do this is gift bundles. And this is one of those things that it is not too late to throw a couple of things together and sell them. Discount the smaller one. So an easy way to do this is either a mug and a coaster or a tumbler and a car coaster. But either way, keep your full price on your tumbler or your mug and then discount the smaller item, the coaster or the car coaster, with the purchase of the other. You also could do, if you're doing tote bags, you could do bag tags. You could also do a keychain that would work in the same way. Huge right now with kids. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But any of those items to kind of bundle them together, it is a one day only. The other thing you should make sure you have for Saturday is limited edition, and I'm saying designs, because I think your products are still the same, but you have those Christmas 2025 specific mugs that you have to buy in this holiday season. And Small Business Saturday is a great day to kind of push those out there if you haven't already. Same thing, other limited edition things would be dated mugs, dated ornaments. Those are really huge to put in this time of year, to have holiday themed items that are just for right now. You also can do the same thing with shirts. If you have VersaFlex, if you have the VersaFlex ink, make sure you're adding holiday shirts to your lineup. I'm going to have my special Thanksgiving shirt for Thanksgiving. There's so many Christmas shirts. My daughter's school, they are in school basically from the 1st to around the 12th. And then they're out for the holidays. There's very little time. So they're literally doing a 12 days of Christmas from the 1st to the 12th. And that is dressing up every single day. So those shirts, you cannot underestimate how important they are when you have so many theme days at school, at work, at pretty much everywhere. So have those, date them so that they don't want to use them again next year, but make sure you have those. Now, these are the products that I think you should be highlighting this weekend as we get into like that final push for Christmas. And please remember, like last year, this is a short holiday season. December 1st and the start of the 24-day countdown to Christmas is Monday. Monday is 24 days from Christmas Eve. Just remember that. If you're like me and you haven't bought a single item for this holiday season, December 1st is Monday. So you should really be pushing, and I think these are the 3 areas that you should really push this weekend in your websites, in your physical stores, in your social media. If you have anything that I have, or if you have any ideas that I missed, please put them in the comments for Rhodes, and he'll tell me those in just a little bit. The next thing is make sure, you've heard me say this all year long, I'll continue to say it all of next year too, is making sure you have a plan. So do you have enough blanks? Is there anything that you're going to run out of that you need to get going into the holiday season? One thing that you can do is have those pre-made items, especially when we talk about the holiday specific stuff, isn't necessarily going to have a name on it. So you can have those already made. I was talking last week, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for this one. You can do initial items so that those are already made. So things that are monogrammed with the letters that are the most popular. You don't have to have every letter out there. You don't have to have one of every 26, but making sure that you have lots of J's, lots of A's, lots of M's. And anything regionally is going to be important. I did leave one out. So when I talked about limited edition designs, local designs as well, you know, anything, we use a lot of the South Carolina shape with things in it, things that are local to your area, that are local to your community. I grew up in what is known as the front porch of the Low Country. I know it's probably copywritten, but any kind of take on that would do well where I'm from. So making sure that you do kind of those things is very important. All right, so review your blanks, prepare those popular designs in advance. A lot of this that fits into that limited edition is going to be something that you can go ahead and make. And then also make sure that you have your workflow in place, that you know what you're going to do. I talked a lot about this a few weeks ago about preparing for high production. So making sure you have that plan in place. The next thing is your pricing strategy, your good, better, best. So, you know, you can have multiple mugs in your store. Some of the designs are those that are very generic, that aren't specific to this season, that are just popular designs. You can have those as your lowest price mugs. The things that are personalized, well, we've talked about it. Personalized sells for higher price. So that's going to be your better. And then if you are an artist, if you are a photographer, those items are the best. Those are the ones that you're going to sell at the highest price. So kind of fit that price structure. I would also say somewhere in there would be those limited edition. You only are going to make a certain number of something. Those are probably going to be the higher price as well. So really getting that kind of structure put in place. Have specials. Run deals. This is the weekend that everyone looks to get special deals, to get those great offers. So make sure you have those in place. Could be as simple as, if you do a lot of ornaments, as I know many of you do, buy 2, get the 3rd one free. Or as my favorite craft store is currently doing, each individual item is pretty high price, but if you buy one, you get 3 free. So maybe doing something like that. So think of those specials, think of that. And then of course, make sure in all of your marketing materials, whether it be on social, whether it be what you're putting around, that you're clearly communicating the value. And the value is, this is small runs, this is designed by you, it is limited, it is handcrafted. Use those words and use them well, because that's the beauty of this. Make sure they know that this can be personalized. Make sure that whether you're selling on social, whether you're selling on a website, whether you're selling in person, that you do have that you can customize. And customize, as we said last week, the personalization could be a lot of different things. It could be as simple as an initial. It can also be the colors, that they can pick the colors, or that they can pick the fonts and make this unique to them. All right, Rhodes, did we have anyone throw anything in that I missed?
No questions or comments really. Lori did say that she's not ready for it to be December 1st, especially since Halloween was just like 2 days ago, I think.
I feel like it was. I was doing something earlier, and I'm like, I do it every Tuesday, and I'm like, yesterday was Tuesday. Like, I just did this yesterday. There's no way it's been a full 7 days. So it's just crazy. All right. So the next thing is the pre-event marketing. Now, this is the one, of course. There was one over here, and that was reviewing your blanks on hand. You should have did that a couple of months ago. Would have been great if I'd done this presentation earlier, so I apologize. The other one is this one, the countdown post. Of course, you can do a short countdown, but would have really been great, like start 10 days out. So to start middle of last week with kind of a countdown on your social media. As you're preparing, again, one that maybe you could have got a little bit of a head start on, but making reels of you doing those items that you're making ahead of time to put in your store. So your peel and reveals, especially on those like limited edition this year only products, kind of have a little sneak peek, but not a lot, just a little bit, would be really great. Showcase, like I just said, any of those small business Saturday exclusives. So those specials. Maybe kind of pull the camera over some signage that has like 25% off today, or any of those things. And then of course, encouraging engagement. So tag someone who needs this. This is a good time of year to do a giveaway. You can give away a set of ornaments, or a set of coasters, or 2-car coasters, or any of those things. You know, you'll randomly draw from anyone who tagged a friend. So those kind of things are really great. And as we've said before, they're a great way to get emails if you don't already have them. As we talk about emails, email and text marketing, make sure that you, and see, this is another one that it would have been great to give you a little bit of heads up on, but you can still do this. And this is Small Business Saturday Early Access, meaning for anyone on your email list, on your text list, they can go ahead and get the same deals on Friday. So go ahead and let them in early, let them feel special. Send out emails or text messages with sneak peeks of any bundles that you're going to have. Let them know ahead of time what they can look forward to on Saturday. And then, of course, on the day of, today only, special for today. So those are the kind of things. Now, one of the things that really helps you here is if you get orders this early in the season, you have more time to work them into your production flow and get them done. So this isn't the last minute rush. Even though it's a short holiday season, you do have time if you get that out and get those orders in early. Even if it's at a discount, it's going to save you in the end. For your website or for Etsy or wherever you sell, make sure that you've gone through all your listings and you've updated them, that the products that you have up top are those that you are really highlighting. Things that are new, things that are different, things that are holiday specific, things that are on sale. Those are the ones that you really want to feature. You may want to create a collection of just those dedicated Small Business Saturday items. Having something that you have a limited edition of or a limited run of, huge way to get people interested in buying. Make sure that you're adding urgency, countdown timers on your website, those notes, limited quantity, when they're gone, only making 25 or 50 or whatever it may be. That urgency is a great marketing strategy. And then, of course, if you're selling in person or local, again, another one that you could or should start a little bit earlier in the year, but partnering with other small businesses for cross promotion. We've discussed this before. It's things like you have your products in their stores, they have their products in yours. If you're working with a photographer, that you have mugs available with their photography. If they're doing photography, then they are giving out your business card or selling mugs with those photographs on them, those kind of things. So there's a lot of ways that you can partner with other small businesses, not just photographers, whether it's a candle shop, whether it's a soap shop, whether it is a cookie shop. Cookie shops need mugs, cookie shops need plates, all those things that you can make and you can partner with them. It would be really good if you're selling in person on Saturday, and we're going to talk about this about online too, planning demos. So let me show you how easy it is to add your nephew, your brother, your sister, your niece, your grandchild's name to this mug. Join me live on Facebook at 10 a.m. Eastern Saturday. Or join us in the store at blah, blah, blah time, or join me at the holiday market, whatever it may be. But doing live demos with personalization is huge because you're showing just what you can do. And then it's always great, like if you just randomly pick a name of someone who's standing in front of you or who's in your live, and then make it with their name, give it to them if they're local, ship it to them when they buy something. If they're online, and just kind of add that little extra personal there. And then this is a good time to create QR codes that you can have around. So if someone's not ready to purchase in the moment, if they're not ready to pull the trigger, they have your QR code that they can order later. Again, a lot of what we do is personalized. Most of it isn't going to be done on the spot anyway. So having that QR code so they can order is always a really, really good thing. All right, Rhodes, any other ideas popping in?
No, we are still caught up on things.
Awesome. All right, so here's some tactics for the day of the sale. One thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the buying journey is easy. So whether you're selling in person, whether you're selling online, order in 3 steps. 3 simple steps, and here's what they are. Do this, do this, do this. Make sure that on your site you are showcasing the best sellers, the most popular products at the top. And then for the personalization, that you're really clear. For anyone who sells on Etsy, please, 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 please hear me. Make sure the instructions make sense and are clear, because the number of times I've had to click the more button to figure out how to get it in my size, with my name, whatever it may be, are huge. And the more clicks I have to make, the more hassle it is for me, and the less likely I am to do it. So anything that you can easily get into the description to let them know how to personalize, the better off you are. Just saying. There's my little soapbox for the day. All right, upselling and cross-selling. offer extra items, extra designs for a small add-on. So like I was saying, purchase the tote bag for $2 more, get the bag tag, or get the lapel pin, or you get the bag tag or keychain or lapel pin that can go with it. If you are doing something like bandanas, same thing, adding those little personal touches. So, you know, buy the mug, get the coaster for this extra price. If you're doing like add-on items, so gift boxes, bag tags, if you're doing an ornament, get to choose your color of ribbon. Those kind of add-ons are always really good. You also can do live selling. So we talked about this a little bit ago, but going live on Facebook, going live on Instagram, showing your products, showing if you're in a store environment or a market environment, showing who's in your booth and how busy you are and how quickly you're selling out, always a good thing. Claim it post. These are phenomenal. Here's this mug. I'm going to post about it. First person to comment sold, I'll sell it to you through DMs. And we'll start the process of getting you checked out. So having those special items there, and if they're not paying attention, if they're not watching your lives, if they're not seeing your demos, if they're not participating, they don't get to do it. And so doing those things are really good. It's also, like I said, that demo, showing how fast you get a product finished so they can see how fast they're going to get it is always a really, really good thing. Make sure that your customer service, your customer experience is high. Any questions? Have someone, if you are physically selling and you can't be in your social, hire your kid for the day. Have them be in there, train them on what to do. They can easily text you and get your attention if they need to, but just get someone to help out. You don't have to offer them a lot. You can make them a t-shirt, and that's usually enough. But getting a little bit of assistance so that you can get responses out quickly. Be very transparent about turnaround times. Again, as an Etsy buyer, be very transparent about turnaround times, because there is nothing worse than purchasing something on Etsy where you're reading the Etsy policy on how fast you should be getting it, and then you get a message from the seller saying, oh, that's not really accurate. I can't put in what it would really be. It's going to be a month. What? So please, please, please be very, very transparent so that the buyer knows they can trust you. And then, of course, beautiful packaging helps encourage repeat business. I've told the story, tell the story again and again and again. Right Foot Socks, love this small business, and they actually put a handwritten note in the packaging. Those little details, stickers of the artwork, handwritten notes, special tissue paper, whatever it may be, just makes it feel so special and unique and kind of harkens back to buying in person. All right, Rhodes, we have anything?
Tom has a good point. If you are doing like a live selling at an event, it's a night market, make sure you have plenty of lighting.
Oh yes, make sure that people can see. Yeah. Make sure they're comfortable too. And what?
Heaters and things like that.
Heaters in the winter. Having those little things. And you know, if you are selling in an area that you know is cold, selling scarves, huge. Selling gloves. We haven't done gloves yet. We need to VersaFlex some gloves.
You'll be reminded here in like 2 days because it's going to drop down to the 30s here.
Yeah, I know, right. And again, I live in the South. 30s is cold. Yeah. And we would normally pull out gloves for the 30s. So I haven't VersaFlex gloves yet. If you have, drop some pictures. But we need to get on that. But yes, selling those things that make people more comfortable. Having fans pretty much year round here is going to be helpful as well. So those little touches are so important, and they do make the buying experience so much better. So great tip there. All right, now after Small Business Saturday, keep the momentum going. I did not say this, but it kind of goes without saying at this point. Have some sort of way, whether you're online, whether you are selling in person, to collect information. An easy way to do this is a contest. So probably one of my favorites, I was in a booth with a small business. They actually did two. One was they sold colored pencil sets. So not a Sawgrass user, but something that's really cool and artsy. But they sold color pencil sets, and so you could create your own color palette. So whether it be a color palette themed around Paw Patrol, or whether it be themed around Friends or tropical fruit, you could submit an entry, and then of course if you won, you would get that palette set. So what do you have to give them? You have to give them your name, you have to give them your email address, you have to give them your phone number. So that's a good way to collect it. Anytime you can have a guess the number jar, another good way to have someone enter, and when they enter, collect that information so you have it. So don't forget to do that, to collect and build your list. But as far as follow-up, sending thank you emails with discounts for further orders is a great way to do this. Ask for reviews, ask for people to tag you in social when they post photos. We said it last week, I'll say it again. Anytime someone gets something that's personalized, they're going to want to show it to everyone. So this is gifting season, so you know the person you sell to may not be the person who's wearing it, but they can still get that photo for you or share that photo with you when it gets shared. And so just making sure you do that are good ways. Reviews are awesome. Having those photos that then you can get permission and share are really great as well. So just showing people enjoying your products. It's something that I'm huge on. When I buy anything, I try to get a good photo of it. You know, I love photography, so I try to get a good photo of us in it, and then I like to share those photos and tag them just so they can get that extra advertising out of it if they want. So really huge. Another thing to do is make sure that you're retargeting, that you have a gift guide for December that you can email out. Any those last minute personalization services that you're promoting them, you may want to do a VIP group on Facebook or other social where people can see. This is another great one I was talking about earlier with the instant sale of here's the item, marked sold. This is another good place to do this. And it works really, really well because people are like, oh my gosh, there's only one of these. I have to buy it. And so it's another good scarcity way of selling things. Of course, make sure that you're sitting down after Small Business Saturday and evaluating what you tried. What were the items that were the best sellers? What did customers ask for the most that you didn't have, whether it be a color variation on something you already had or something completely new? What were the gaps in your inventory? And then of course, what are the lessons? What are the things? I hope I've given you a few that you can already think about planning a little bit earlier next year to really be prepared for Small Business Saturday, because it's really our day to shine. So make sure that you're doing those things. All right. That's all I've got. Rhodes, any other questions or comments?
We are finished for today.
Awesome. So I'm really excited about tomorrow. A few weeks ago, we kind of talked about what things you need to be selling in your store this holiday season. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about some unique products. There's one that I am super excited to make for you tomorrow. Very excited to make for you tomorrow. It was actually, almost got it last week, but I was like, no, we'll go this way and then go this way next week. So I'm really excited about that. There's something else I'm making I'm really excited about. So really cool stuff tomorrow. But we're going to talk about some unique products to add to your store that you may not have thought of before. And then I'm going to go through again those products that you absolutely have to have in your store. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And then I hope everyone gets a good turkey, good whatever you want on Thursday. So that's all I have for today. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And I hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.